Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope wherever you're at, you're having a wonderful day. Today, I wanted to do a video on this Rumble figure. This is from the Studio Series 86 Transformers the movie. This is a small, I guess this would be like legend scale. But as you guys can see, there's Decepticon Rumble Blue. This to me has always been Rumble. I know there's also Frenzy, and I believe we're also getting a Frenzy figure, but there you go. Nice little packaging. I love the drawing here, the artwork. That looks really cool. And then on the back, you get his robot mode, cassette mode, and then here's his with his piledrivers. Definitely looking forward to getting into this thing. So I'll open it up and give you a quick look at it. How you doing, guys? Finally got Rumble here out of the box. So let's move on. So as you can see, this is everything you get with the figure. You get his two piledrivers, which are nicely painted in that blue and slight purple, I guess, and some nice detailing, really well done there with some line work. It's pretty good for what it is. And then there's some ports here which you can, I'm assuming, maybe plug in some fire effects. On the back here, these sections here that are hollow are where the arms go. The rest of this other is just hollow pieces for the sake of being hollow, I'm assuming, maybe from the mold. But I don't mind it so much. Most of the time you're going to be facing these this way. The bottoms here do not move, although you can take this off if you wanted to for whatever reason. Maybe plug some fire effects here at the bottom, make it look like he's hitting the floor. But overall, yeah, these are pretty cool. Nothing, much else to say. Again, some more ports here. These are really well done. And here's the bottom here. The other two accessories are essentially what are his guns. For me, I'm used to seeing these things on his back, and you can also put them there. And these are just like plain white plastic. So, um, nothing much else. There is some nice line work, a bit plain, but again, I don't mind them so much. And again, these go plugged into his back, and you can't put them there, which we'll do in a second. Now onto the figure itself, it is pretty small, as Rumble should be. Interestingly enough, the box refers to him as Rumble Blue. I'm assuming maybe there's some kind of naming thing with Frenzy. Are they going to call him Rumble Red? But for me, this guy is Rumble. This is the color that I'm used to seeing Rumble in. Some nice purple, blue, light, I guess, powder blue there, which is really done with some nice red highlights there with some yellow. And then the feet here are just like plain like gray, light gray or white plastic. He is a bit hollow in the back. That's just due to the transformation, but in all honesty, I think at this size, I don't mind it so much. And there is some nice coloring there on the back. Essentially, this guy turns into a cassette. Articulation wise, the head does completely turn around if that's something you'd like to do. The arms move, up. You can turn them as well if you wanted to. The hands here, they don't turn or anything, but you can bend them in, but that's part of the transformation itself. The one weakness of this figure for me is essentially the elbow joints, is the fact that there are no elbow joints. He's pretty much stuck in this with his arms sort of straight out, which to me, I mean, he looks okay like this, but it would have been nice if they gave him the ability to at least bend his arms, because other than that, this figure is pretty cool. The legs, he can kick. You do have a 90-degree. The toes go in and out as well. That's also part of the transformation. You can turn his legs fully around. And yeah, I mean, I think other than that, it's a pretty cool representation of Rumble here. There's the trying to see if we can get you to focus on the head, the face with the nice red visor and the silver face. And again, very G1. Nothing much else to say. Transformation wise, this guy's pretty simple. One thing that you can do in robot mode, as I said earlier, is you can take these weapons, you can plug them in his arms. The instructions say, you can put them sort of like here if you wanted to. Again, because I'm used to seeing this guy from the cartoon, you can also place these on his back, and this is more than likely how I will display him with those guns on his back. And then the other cool aspect of this guy is that he can wear those pile drivers that I just showed you. And essentially you are going to bend these hands into the hollow part of the forearm there. And once you have them like this, you're just going to take each pile driver and plug it in. And there you go. You have Rumble with his pile drivers. And then essentially he could stand, but then you can also like pose him to look like, you know, he's hitting the ground there. He can look up slightly. But there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty simple for what it does, but I think it definitely fits, you know, the Rumble character really well. Other than the, you know, the lack of elbow movement there. But this is really cool. Again, this is probably how I'll display him with, you know, the rest of the robots in my collection, the rest of the Decepticons. But cool nonetheless. Pretty cool figure. And as far as transformation, as I said, it's pretty simple for something this small. That should be the case. But essentially, you're just going to take all these guns, the power drivers out, and essentially, we kind of already started some of it here. But you just sort of fold the hands into the forearms there. You're going to take this head, you're going to turn it around so that it's facing backwards. And then you're just going to fold it into the cavity here on the back or on the chest. Next thing you're going to do is fold these this way. And you're going to slide them up and over. And I'm trying not to break mine as I do this. His right arm of mine is a little stiff. But you can just leave it like that for now. Next thing will be the legs. And essentially you're just going to bend, fold these in. And this is, it can get a little tricky here. But essentially what you're doing is turning it like this. Because what you want to do is you want to match up these sections on the side of the foot with the back. So essentially you're folding it in like that. There you go. So as long as you match up, you should be good. And then the last thing to do is essentially you take the arms here and you kind of just even everything out. Make sure it tabs in right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, again, to me, this is supposed to be a cassette from way back when. I'm not even sure when was the last time they made a cassette. You know, but it's, again, fits the bill. It's pretty cool that, you know, they could have opted to make this something else, and I'm glad they stuck with the whole cassette theme there. But it's pretty simplistic, but again, it fits the bill. So cassette mode's pretty cool. As I said just now, simplistic, but I think it fits the bill again. And I got him specifically to go with Soundwave here, and it should fit in. I haven't put it in yet, but it should. And I believe this may go like that. I guess the last thing you want to do is get this guy stuck. But once you get that in, you should be able to close it. And you could see he fits really well in there. And this should open. Yep, there you go. So if you want to house Rumble inside a Soundwave, he fits in no problem. I have here the laser beak that came with that Soundwave, and this is how they compare size-wise. Pretty similar in size. So very cool nonetheless. Again, have a nostalgia for cassettes, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty, so to move on as we continue here with Rumble. For comparisons, as before we close, there he is. I have him there without his pile drivers and with the guns in his back. Here he is next to the Rumble that came with the Masterpiece Soundwave that I have in my collection. Obviously, this is a whole different line. This is a Masterpiece toy. But I actually do prefer the colors here versus what was given to us here. This is not bad by any means. And also the leg proportions I like better on this guy than I do on the Masterpiece. This guy's a little flimsy in the leg category. But just want to show them there together. Here he is next to also Frenzy, which is essentially Rumble, just in a different color there, so you guys can see them there together. Again, that's pretty cool that I now have a masterpiece size and a, I guess, Legends size Rumble there to go with my Soundwave. Other comparisons here. Here he is next to Wheelie, and next to the Studio Series Spike in Exosuit. I always get confused with that one because I keep thinking it's Daniel, but I'm pretty sure that is Spike with the exosuit. So that way you guys could see him there. Again, size-wise, Rumble is pretty small. You know, but again, I think it fits the bill really well there, right? Rumble was always a pretty much a smaller guy, but so there you go. So we'll move those. Here he is next to Bumblebee, and sorry, Cliff Jumper. Again, these are the newer molds. This is the Netflix one. This is the Bus or the Bumblebee with the alternate paint. But again, no comparison there. Again, Rumble was a much smaller guy, I believe, than the Bumblebee. So I think that definitely fits a bill for me, at least what I see in what I'm looking for in my collection. So again, pretty cool to have those both there together. So let's move those. And then here is had a Titans Return Brawn. So just so you guys could see what he looks like there. Again, I think this guy still fits in really well with the rest of the figures. They do need to make a newer version of this guy though, but they fit in really well. Here he is next to, see if I can get Blaster here in the shot for you guys. There you go. Here he's next to Blaster. Again, I think that fits in really well. And here is next to Eject. And comparing these two, I honestly think Rumble here is a better figure than this one, just because he's not made out of clear plastic. But I will say Eject here does have bendable elbow, so bit of a toss up there. But I think I still prefer Rumble a little better. So there you go. And then just to, as we close the video here, I do enjoy this figure quite a bit. I think it's a nice addition. There you guys, you see him next to his buddy Soundwave. Here's the Ravage that came with this this Soundwave. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, and the last figure that we do have here is the Reflector. For some reason, I always sort of pair up Reflector with Soundwave, even though I know they're not necessarily together all the time. But there you go. But overall, I'm really happy with this little Blaster figure. Again, I really do wish they would have given him the articulated elbows there. But, you know, it's not too bad for that class. And I think the figure only cost me like $10, $11 if I recall correctly. But it's a cool little figure nonetheless. I would say, you know, if you're looking for a Rumble in this scale to fit in really well with, you know, your figures in this size, deluxe size, or whatever they call it now, I really do think he fits in really well. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. You know, if I missed anything, you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Again, thank you so much for spending your very valuable time with me and Rumble here. I hope to see you again next time in the next video. And take care of yourself. You know, be nice to yourself, be nice to each other. And I will see you next time.